This is my Ferguson TO-20. It's got I think the Z129 Continental engine. And I bought it a little over a year ago for $650. The guy said it ran before, but it hadn't run for some time. So I told him that I would give him a little less than what he was asking. He took it. So I bought this for $650. I was curious if I could get it home and get it running. And so I picked it up and took it home. When I got home with it, I actually was doing my checks and found out that it didn't have any spark. And when I found it didn't have any spark, I decided to clean up the points and all that. And when I was pulling up the spark plug wires, I realized they were really... Ironically, I had a Ferguson before, and a TO-30 that I had that still had the spark plug wires off of, but I had sold the tractor. So I threw those wires on, cleaned up the points, and I got to fire up, and it ran great. I used it earlier this year, and as I was using it, I realized that it would only run on full choke. So I would run it on full choke. At the time, I was blading with a 6-foot blade with it to be able to finish the job. And I came out here the other day, and I tried to start it to see if it would move for me, thinking that I'm going to have to rebuild the carburetor. And sure enough, I could not even get it to start. So my plan this evening is to try to get it to start tonight, and so I can pull it up to my shop, well, the little tent shop thing, and remove the carburetor from here, from the side of the tractor, and then start look at what carburetor kit I need to buy and buy the rebuild kit for it so I can finish rebuilding it. Ironically, the last time I tried to start it, I didn't even act like it wanted to fire. So I think that maybe I need to clean the points on this side of the tractor again and kind of just look through and see if there's any problems with my electrical system again. So let's see if we get this thing started. I'll hook it up to my jump box because I don't think the battery still has any juice in it. And we'll try to get this thing to turn over and start. And if I do, I'll pull it up to the shop there and we'll start looking at it. Turn on the fuel. Tried to start it, but again, it turned over. Nothing happened. Didn't even try to fire. I had turned on the fuel, which is your fuel bowl, fuel shutoff valve, fuel bowl. And I turned on the fuel and tried to start it. Didn't even act like it wanted to fire. I don't think we're getting spark to the spark plugs, but I don't know that. So I'm going to take this cap off. I'm going to look at it. This is a rotor button. All right, little dust cap. Ooh, that looks pretty dirty. Let's see here. They're closed. Well, they look pretty dirty. Let's see what I got to clean those up with. Okay, so it looks like these need cleaned up a little bit. I got an old piece of real, looks like P400 grit sandpaper. It's also used, so it's not real
not real. It doesn't have a lot of grit left to it. So I'm going to just run it in between here. Okay. Now, with the key turned on, it should snap. Not getting anything. Huh. Nothing. Yeah, the key's on. Wait. There it is. We have a snap now. Okay, so now we know we have a snap here, which means what we should have spark to our plugs. Let me see if I can get the start on choke. Oh, wait. I'm missing stuff. Okay. Put the dust cap back on. I'm going to have to work on this. I think I have a electronic rebuild kit I'll put on. And there's that. Now the cap. All right, let's try it again to see if we can get any better luck here. Turn on the fuel. Got my jump box here. Okay. Now we're going to hit it. Okay, let's try it. Remove the carburetor so I can make sure that I get the correct rebuild kit. Pretty simple situation. Fuel line, air hose, and then there's the throttle linkage or choke leakage, throttle linkage, and it's hooked to the governor, of course. So let me go ahead and get all this disconnected. I'm going to start off with the fuel line here. It's not 7/16 or 3/8, but I can go ahead and disconnect this from the carburetor. Pull that back. Okay, got it. There's that. Yeah, let me go ahead and get see what I can find for that fuel line. Might be 10 millimeter. Alrighty, so I'm going to try this out. It wasn't 7/16. I got myself some line wrenches here, and we're going to see. This is, I think a 10 was too small, or too big. No, too small. So I have a 10, and I should have 11 here too. I have an 11. See if it goes up to that. That's too big. Oh, nope, that worked. So 11, it is. You'll probably see some fuel drip out. No big deal. The fuel shut off, so it shouldn't be a whole lot. An 11. Fascinating. All righty. Okay. Got that. All right, we're all disconnected there. So, okay, 1/2 inch. Okay. Okay, this should come right off. I don't even need the screwdriver. Good. All righty. Now, come right off. Okay. So, I'm going to look this up and figure out what carburetor I got here and order a rebuild kit. This is about all I wanted to get done tonight so I could have that kit on order and on its way. All right, so what I have here is a Berryman Chem Dip carburetor and parts cleaner, the Good Stuff Smart Choice, and it shows a picture of it. Looks like a small engine, master cylinder, valves, piston, carburetor, valves, so it just cleans up everything. So I want to pop this open. It has a little tray in it, and this is a small can. You think you can get this also in a bucket. So, but this is, I got it because it was on sale, and then it sat in my garage for almost a decade. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So lift. There's a little tray in here. Let's see if I can fit this whole carburetor in there. See if I can get the whole thing to be submerged. See, I put the nuts back on so that way I don't lose them. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, we are fully submerged. Good. All right, I'll let that sit in there overnight, and we will see what it looks like tomorrow. Done. Have a good night. All right, so I have a freshly rebuilt carburetor. Everything's been cleaned out, ready to go. All I have to worry about now is getting it reinstalled. Before I put it on here, though, I put this rag up here so that way nothing got up in there while I was not working on it. I need to try to clean this surface up so that way it actually feels pretty clean. You just wipe it off first. I'm probably going overkill more so than a lot of other people. Maybe spray some carburetor cleaner up on it. Okay. Just it's this real fine grit, 400 used 400 grit sandpaper, just to kind of get whatever rust build up or little edges off, and just clean it up. It actually feels really smooth, so I'm not really worried about it. But I want to get cleaned up so we get a good seal with the gasket. Alrighty, that turned out pretty good. Let me see here. Oh yeah, feels good. That's no problem at all. Alrighty. And look, it's coming back clean, so there's not really anything coming off of it anyway. Let me go ahead and spray it down and wipe it off. Here's my rag. And it came out pretty dirty, so let me do it again. Right here, find a clean part of the rag. Actually, helplessly right-handed. All right, it actually looks pretty good. Came back kind of clean. The paint's kind of getting off the sides, but that looks pretty good. So, all right, let me go get the carburetor. We'll start reinstalling it. I got new cotter pins for the linkages, and we should be good. So let me jump on that. Alrighty, let's start off with the choke, this is the choke rod right here, and it might be the first easier one to put on first. Let me see here. I wonder why it's there. It goes. So let me go ahead and put that on. Got myself I just dropped it. Got myself a new cotter pin. Go on there. Alrighty here. Okay, found the hole. Good. So there's the new cotter pin. Nothing real special. Just let me bend it out. I wish this would. So there's that. I'll bend this. It's thin enough I could just do it with my fingers, really. So there, that one's installed. I'm going to bend it all the way up so that way it's not going to cause a problem in the future. Alrighty. Now, install the throttle linkage. Got a cotter pin on one side. Got a cotter pin on the other side. Alright, so we cut it a little bit shorter. So that way it doesn't interfere with the linkage. In fact, what I'll also do is I'll put it upside down in hopes that it will not interfere with the linkage here. And get as far in there as it'll go. Alright, start bending that one. There you go. Yeah, perfect. Let me make sure it's not going to interfere with anything here. Alright. think so. Maybe. Maybe it will interfere. Let's see if I can. Alrighty. Alright, so my linkages are hooked back up. Alright, gasket's on, nice and clean. You slide it into the rubber boot here, which I think, if I remember correctly, when I ordered it, when I first got the tractor, it came small, so I'm gonna have to really work it on there. I think, yeah, they sent me one that was too small, so you kind of have to muscle it in there. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, there's that. Now, before we go any further, looks like I need to twist that in a little bit. It's important you line this up straight. Let's see. So that's up there. Oops. Get where it lines up easy. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's it. All right, there's that. So I can get this thing to line up here. Go up just a little bit here. I'm gonna make sure that starts very well. I think we got it pretty easily now. You want to wiggle. You want to try to finger this, tight this in as far as possible. You do not want to cross those threads. So, all right, let's tighten this up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just snug it. You're not trying to break any records. You're just trying to make sure it seals. But this doesn't actually have fuel pressure or hardly any fuel pressure in it. So you should be fine. All right. 1/2-inch wrench here. Yeah. It looks about like that one. So that's good. Just snug it. This one needs snug too. All righty. Let's try it. All right, so it looks like I'm ready for the first snowfall. I've got the blade on the back, so when we get snowfall, I'll be able to clear the driveway. The carburetor came out fine. It runs pretty smooth. It runs a little rich. I've owned this tractor for over a year now. It's never smoked on me, never done anything like that. And now there's a little bit of smoke, and it's not all the time. It's just periodically. I think it's running a little rich, so I have some fine-tuning adjustments on. And I also found that I have an exhaust manifold leak on the rear end of the engine. And so, but in order to fix it correctly, I think I'm going to have to replace the exhaust manifold, the exhaust intake manifold. And if I'm doing that, I might as well replace the muffler as well, and just kind of do everything from this side over, and take care of that. Now, with a 70-year-old tractor as this is, you're never going to get everything fixed perfectly. You want to just make sure it runs good. Like, there's oil leaks on this thing that I don't know it's had since I've bought it. It's an old tractor. I'll be honest with you, the hydraulic lift on the back with the 3-point actually is really good. It's so much better than some of the other older tractors I've had. So I'm very happy about that. That must have been rebuilt recently before I bought the tractor. So I think I'm ready to go. I think this is when I'm in the video. So thanks for joining me on replacing the carburetor of this tractor. Looking forward to putting it to use this winter. And you all have a great day.